Alright y'all, let's talk about learning to trust. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, reposting videos with your community so that we can all grow. Yep, freaking Fractum made it up the tree. I'm going to start with the story and I'm going to get with the lesson. So the other day I met my cousin for lunch, and as soon as we sat down, she was like, why do you think our relationship is the nature that it is? Sis obviously has been contemplating. And I was like, it doesn't even matter what I said because she squashed that real quick. She's like, no, I'm going to tell you what it is. She's like, I believe that you have grouped me in with the rest of the family. And I had that feeling, but I was just like, receive this, Lonnie. She's speaking her truth, and she's speaking the truth. So I received it, and I was like, damn, you're right. I have grouped you in with the rest of the family, and I think about my history with you, and you have been 10 toes down for me since day one. When my family disowned me, my cousin announced to the family, as long as Lonnie's not invited, I'm not attending. She's been down since day one. Now, my loyalty doesn't look like her loyalty, so she definitely said, in this situation, I would do. But she also acknowledged, I understand we're two different people, but still, I was like, I agree with everything except for you holding me to your expectations. I am not going to react to a certain situation the same way you do, and you have to be understanding of that. You cannot fault me and hold me accountable for not being you and not responding to a situation the same way you would. We're two different people. But in that conversation, I had my moment of truth, and I apologized to her, and I said, you know what, you didn't deserve the treatment that I gave you because I did bunch you in with a bunch of people who do treat me that way. And I realized, and here's where the teaching starts, I realized that I was looking to be offended. I put my family in a box, and I said, everyone that's in blood relation to me, I'm not looking for how you love me, I'm looking for how you offend me. And I didn't know I was doing this until she called me on it. And so I'm gonna talk about it so we know that we're doing it, so ain't nobody gotta call you on it. And when I realized I was looking to be offended, and I realized that I was treating my cousin unfairly because she got grouped in with a bunch of other people, I was able to, boom, check myself, update my lens. But I also learned, well, this is where trust is built, right? And you saying that you stay mad at your dude forever, why? I had to tell myself, and this is what I'm telling you, and this is the lesson. If we choose to allow someone in our lives, it's because we, at some level, believe that they love us, right? We, at some level, believe that they have our best interests at heart, right? So if we have allowed someone into our space, and this is why we need to be mindful of who we let into our space, because when I hear people say it's hard to trust, it's hard, why are you allowing people in your circle that it's hard to do these basic human functions with? We need to take accountability. We don't get to cry victim later when we allowed people into our lives that we didn't even trust in the first place. But in the case of my cousin, I trust her with my life, and she's cared for my life, so I know I'm giving my trust to the right person. And the same thing with your man. The way that we move in trust is, one, only allowing people into our space that we can offer trust to, and two, flipping the switch in our head that says this person that I have chosen to allow into my life only has good intentions for me. Dre, my husband, used to say all the time, I am not your enemy. And for my husband to say that to me meant he must have felt attacked all the time. And perhaps your man, he may feel attacked all the time because we are constantly at war because we do not trust. But damn it, if I trusted this man enough to marry him, why can't I trust him enough to believe that anything that he says or does to me is not ill-intended? Anything my cousin says and does towards me is not ill-intended. And if you did the work to only allow people who you genuinely feel are for you into your life, anything your man says and does is not ill-intended. He may not know how to handle you because you have not given him your handle with care instructions, future video. But know that this is your man, and no, I don't know your relationship, and I don't know what's going on in your relationship. But if you chose to allow this individual into your life, let's just assume you chose to allow someone who may do things that are hurtful, but their intentions weren't to hurt. I fought my husband for years, not because I didn't love him, but because I didn't trust his love. And it was me flipping that switch with my cousin when I realized, you know what? I love you, and I know you love me. Therefore, I trust you. See, we go through life waiting for betrayals. We put people in boxes, and we overlook all the beautiful things they do for us, and we focus on the things that hurt us. And even if they did something that hurt us, we overlook the fact that their intentions weren't to hurt. People don't think like we think. People don't speak like we speak. People don't move like we move. And so some of the anger that you are holding towards your spouse, some of the resentment I'm holding towards my family and towards my cousin and towards my husband is unwarranted. So my friend, before this video gets too long, I just encourage you to begin to trust. Trust that you allowed someone into your space, so much so it's an intimate space. So if you trusted enough to allow them in, allow them in. Instead of walking around angry, have a conversation and say, this is how you offended me. And they're able to explain their perspective. And you're able to give them the grace and the compassion and the understanding they deserve because you know that they love you. So flip the switch, y'all. Let's stop living in the past. Let's stop living in the hurt. Let's stop looking for people to offend us. And look at how people love us. And sitting and stewing in the energy of anger, that's not serving your higher good, sis. Have a conversation and release for you. So I just went out peopling and I'm exhausted. What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Apple. Tonight I'm a healthy family advocate. If that is your content of choice, please consider following, commenting, sharing, reposting videos with your community so that we can grow. Can I be random really quick? I don't know about your city, but there is an alarming number of vehicles missing parts. Like, I'm driving down the street and I see cars missing fenders, I see cars missing bumpers, I see cars missing windows, I see cars missing doors. Like, how is this commonplace? And the first thing I think is get the fuck away from me, so you clearly don't have insurance. And Dre over here tripping about Bailey scratching up his rim. They like, you better be happy you have a bumper, cause it's an epidemic. And people are just really crappy. Like, I have hope for humanity, but it's like that much. Being an empath, I go out and I be around people and it just drains the out of me. And there's these group of kids that I get around and they're just not good kids. And now that I know how everything works out, it means that they are products of not good adults. Before I was just like, oh, but your mom is nice, so how did you end up so because behind closed doors, your mom's very But I am happy to announce that I am changing because someone snatched something from Caden. This little boy snatched something from Caden right in front of me. And usually I'll get a feeling in my gut or, you know, old school Lonnie, I'd snatch that back in like, you better catch some manners, young man. But I was just like, that was extremely rude. There's no need to be that way. He's like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you are sorry, you little bat. Sorry, that was old Lonnie. I've been peopling, I'm sorry. But I really just hate how mean children are. Angel was trying to play with the other kids, but because Angel's the outsider, they would literally look at her like, why are you talking to me? Like, your kids don't know how to just be friendly? And then I was like, well, shoot. No matter how much of a crap parent I was, all 4 of my children are very well mannered, very well behaved, and know how to treat other humans like decent human beings. So I may have been heavy-handed with Bailey and neglectful with Angel, and who knows what the heck was going on with Michael and Caden. But at least through it all, my children are wonderful humans. Can you say the same thing about your children? Just look at yourself. Your children are an exaggeration of your personality because they don't know how to control it. So if you don't like your kids, you don't like yourself. Anyway, I'm exhausted. Dre has 2 cell phones. Not answering either of them, but he needs a ride home. And then I call him through Messenger and he doesn't answer that stuff either. I'm trying to control my emotions in relation to that because he could be in a situation where he can't answer his phone and here I am getting upset. But chances are he just has his ringers off and he's not answering his phone even though he needs me. I'm just sick of people and this shirt is not helping.